Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. In today's video it is going to be a review finally of these Docraft marker pens, and I'm going to be doing them against Copics, or Copics however you say them. I'm going to be doing them against Copics and see how they fare. This whole pack of markers was only £10 for 6 markers, which works out £1.60 per pen, and these Copics, if you're from the UK, cost between £3 and £4 per pen, so that's a considerable difference. I purchased them at Hobbycraft, and I don't know if you've seen my whole video, but you can go back and look at that. I'll leave a link in the description below. But I got these and I said to you guys I would unbox them and have a look at them with you and review them for you guys, because they're quite easily available. If you can get them online, I'll leave a link in the description below, and I'll also leave a link in the description below for the Copics that I use in this video. So this is what they look like, and I'm going to open them with you. They are in this little plastic case, and I chose the pastel colours, obviously because I love pastels. I love pastels so much. So let's open them together, shall we? Tip them out. Yay! So they come in a pack like this, and they have a white body. Ooh, new pens. My first impressions are they're really nice material, and they are triangle. I don't know if you can see on this camera, but they are triangular. They're a triangle shape, and one is a chisel nib and the other side is a brush nib, which is exactly like the Copics. Let's show this one. These are slightly thinner, if you can see. I don't know if you can see, but the Copics are round, and they've also got a chisel nib, and they've also got a little brush nib like this. So cool. First impressions is they're really nice. They're really nice to hold. It's nice that they're triangular. They kind of remind me of those pens you used to get back in school, in like primary school, and they used to be triangular to make your handwriting seem nice. Did anyone remember those? But yeah, first impressions are nice. I also like the way they've got one end silver. I don't know if you can see this on the camera. They've got one end silver like this to mark the chisel nib, and they've got a white end to mark the brush nib, and it's very clearly sign marked about where the chisel and brush nibs are. So that's super handy because it's very obvious and it stands out. The Copics, on the other hand, don't stand out. As you can see, it's like this. Obviously you have to look at them a bit more to get where they are, and I often tend to just open both ends and wish for the best. There's a 50-50% chance that you're gonna get the right one. So yeah, that's the difference between those two. So I really like how they're nicely signed. The plastic on them is slightly cheaper, but I'm not going to complain about that because obviously they're a budget marker, and I think so far, so freaking good. They've got the logo on the front and they're looking good. I really like this triangular shape. I could really dig this. So let's do a swatch test, shall we? I have done some doodles in this Winsor & Newton marker pad. So this pad is dedicated to marker drawings. Obviously it goes perfectly with pro markers, but it's just a marker pad. It's A4 size. I'll leave a link in the description below if you're wanting to buy that. So let's have a look, shall we? So I've done a little doodle here, and let's get into the swatch tests. So what I want to do with the swatch test is see how they line up against the lid colours. So let's start with the pink one from Docraft, and let's start with the brush nib. So it's like a nice baby pink on here. I don't know if you can see that very well. Let's have a look. Oh. So first impressions is that it's a little bit brighter than what the nib says, but it may dry darker. So it's a little bit brighter, but let's give it a chance. It's more like a neon-y, it's still baby pink, I would say. It's not as light as the pen lid, it's more saturated, this colour, I would say, but that's fine. Let's wait till it dries. Let's now get into the Copic one. So this is the colour on the Copic. It's very, very similar to the colour on there. Ah, right, so as you can see, this one is actually lighter and probably more matching the lid on here. The Docraft one is a little bit more saturated than that. Let's look at the other ones. So here's Seafoam Green. That's a lovely colour. That's pretty accurate actually. I'm very impressed with that. That's very accurate. So thumbs up from me for that one. It's very, very accurate. Obviously this is a lot darker, but the pen colour is a little bit darker, but pretty much accurate with the Copic on that one. Denim. Yeah, I would say that's a pretty accurate match. Not too bad. A little bit brighter than maybe the lid, but still good. Still going good, guys. Still good. And then we've got this colour in Periwinkle, which I really like. Ooh, what a nice colour. So the lid is actually slightly darker than this colour. The colour doesn't match, but I'm really digging this colour. I really, really like this colour. So the lid's slightly darker, but I still love this colour, so nice. Yellow. Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. Very impressed. Very, very impressed. And then we've got this ice blue one for the final one. Oh. Pleasantly surprised. Okay, so that is slightly different. That's got a more green undertone than what the lid would have you believe. It's more like an aqua colour, but it's still a nice colour. So I'm not going to complain about the colours. The colours are very nice. That Seafoam Green is very accurate. The pink is a little bit darker, but still nice and still good. Yeah, still good. So let's have a look at the Copics. So I haven't got that dark blue one. Them colours are very similar. Look at those purples. They are quite similar, to be honest. And this is the colour Prune, and it pretty much matches the cap with that one. And then we're on to the yellow. Nice and bright and accurate again. This is in the colour Frost Blue, one of my favourite colours by Copic. Lovely. And obviously these have to dry as well, but as you can see, the Copic lids tend to quite accurately match the pen colour. Not all the time, there is some slight differences, but they're quite close to the pen lid colour. So I'm going to use the Docraft markers with this little ghosty that I've done. So I'm going to colour the ghost in this blue colour. So let's use the brush end. Ooh, it goes on really nicely on this marker paper, bearing in mind I am using marker paper. Oh, I'm very impressed with this so far. Oh, it's nice and smooth. It's a little bit more stiff than a Copic, but it might be because I haven't used it yet and it's the first time using it. I really like this. For £1.60, guys, you can't go wrong with this. Oh no, my ink's smudging. Oops. This is not meant to smudge the thing. Never mind. Still does the job, I'm alright. So this ink, this is actually going on so nice. It's nice and wet as well, so I feel like, I wonder if it's nicely blendable, I don't know. But so far, so freaking good, guys. Very, very nice. I will actually use these, I think. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to go out and buy more. The only thing with these is, oh, did you see that? It just like flew off. It's like spring-loaded. I don't know what just happened there. Let's get into that colour though. The problem is that colour is not that. That is not that colour. That is like a green. That's like a greeny blue, and that's meant to be more like what this colour is meant to be. Can you see the lids? They're pretty much like the same colour, and yeah, the colour's not accurate. Now let's use the Copic on this one. See, yeah, so there's the difference. The Copic is a lot softer. The brush on the Copic is a lot softer and not as wet, so it doesn't apply as wet as the last marker. It's more dry feeling. I actually think I prefer the wetness of the other marker, but obviously the colour isn't accurate. And another thing is they haven't got a great range of pen colours, so that's where they're probably going to fall short. But for a starter pack, I think they are brilliant so far. This one is green. He's green, he's not blue. Come on, let's face it. You are not blue, guy. That's such a shame, because the marker itself goes on amazing. So I'll probably use this if I wanted like a light aqua green. But a little bit disappointed in the colour difference of that. But you can't win them all. You're bound to get some colour faults with these cheaper markers. The colour accuracy so far on the blue isn't great. Now let's paint some more. Do the cheeks. It's very bright. It's definitely not pastel. Yeah, this pink is not pastel pink. And this brush is a lot more stiff, but it's going on really nicely. They're really nice to actually like colour in with, so I actually enjoy colouring in. But I don't know if you can see, but the end of this nib is like slightly soft, but then the rest is really stiff, whereas with a Copic marker a lot of it is nice and bendy and soft. So as you can see, this is a lot pastel, a lot more pastel-y, and it goes on nice and smooth. So this seafoam green seemed like a really nice colour. I think I'll... it's not enough contrast, so it's like a really nice... Yeah, I love that colour. That colour's lovely. This one's very bold. Stick some things in there. This smudged a little bit. This smudged my ink a little bit. I wonder if that's got anything to do with the markers themselves. Another thing I would notice is this has a lot more white grain to it. So I don't know if you can see, but this one has a lot more white dots coming through the ink, whereas the Copic doesn't have that as much. However, I don't think that's really a problem, because I like texture, so anything that adds more texture is fine by me, because I like that sort of look. Let's do his little Dracula thing like that. So I'm going to do some shading now on the little ghosties. I don't know if this will ruin it. I'm going to be doing it both back into the blue colours, and we're going to do some little shadows and stuff like that and see how it goes when it's layered. So let's start with the Docraft ones. Add a little bit of shadow here. And here. So far so good. And here, and here. It's kind of like melting in. Ah, they layer quite well. Now let's jump into the Copic one. I know Copics layer really well. Some colours react with other colours differently, but overall, very nice. So yeah, that turned out pretty goddamn wicked. They look really cute. I'm actually quite pleased with them. I am impressed with these for like a fraction of the price, for £1.60 or however much I said it was. I think they're really good. For professional use, I still love Copics, but I'm not going to stop using these. I think I will still use these, especially that seafoam colour. That seafoam colour was really, really nice colour. It applies really wet and nice. The only thing with these is I don't know if you can get refills, and there is limited colours available. Copics have so many different varieties of colours, it is endless. Whereas with these, they haven't, they're quite limited, but as a starter pen, if you don't know whether you're going to like markers or anything, I would say go out and grab some of these and try them. Just bear in mind that the colours aren't going to be so accurate as the pen lid. That might not bother some people, because a lot of people like me, I started out with super cheap markers and I just used to do a little swatch in the corner of my sketchbook or whatever on the same piece of paper that I was going to illustrate in, and I would just have a look what that colour turned out like, because some colours were like dramatically different to what I put down on paper, but these weren't dramatically different. They were actually really surprising. I love the softness of the yellow. It's not as neon as this, this is meant to be like a neon yellow anyway, so that was perfect. The seafoam green was perfect. The blue one was probably the most disappointing one because it was more green than blue. It's meant to be ice blue and it wasn't, it was green. It is pretty much green. The pink as well wasn't like that nice soft pastel pink, but I know that is quite hard to get in markers. Copic obviously have that higher price point because they've got it right. So if you were looking for a pastel pink, then I probably would look at a Copic. But I would still use this pink. I would still use all of these pens. I also really like the colour Periwinkle. That's very, very nice. The only thing is they come out a little bit more dotty, so there's more texture to them. But like I said before, I love texture, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing to have texture. So yeah, I hope you found this helpful. I think they are very, very good pens for the price point. I think the shape is very nice, the colours are very nice. They're not accurate in some of the pens, but still very nice, and I think they're a flipping bargain. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it helpful to any of you out there who are looking at expanding their marker range or trying markers for the first time but weren't sure whether they wanted to take the plunge. I know Copics can be very expensive. I grew my Copic collection over a long period of time. Like, I would treat myself to 2 or 3 here and there, and then that's how I built up my collection. But I'm still on the lookout for budget pens and friendly pens and things like that, and also you can find some really good gems in budget art supplies. There's some really, really good ones out there, and I'm definitely going to keep using these pens. I'm happy with them. Just make sure you do a colour swatch before you go into your illustration. I don't want you to ink a big illustration and then go in with the pen and realise it's totally different colour. So just bear that in mind. I hope you liked this video. I hope you like a review video. This is my first one, so let me know in the comments below what you thought. So I love you all so freaking much. Come say hi in the comments. I read every single one, and I can't reply to every single one, but I love to read them. And connect with each other below if you're an artist. Leave your Instagram. Get friendly with people and share love and the love for art and cute stuff. Okay, I love you so freaking much. I'll see you in the next video. I'm sorry about my snotty nose. Alright, I love you very much. Okay, I love you, bye.